Connie Smith is 84 years old now. She is talking openly about Bill Anderson. Connie Smith was born as Connie Joan Rami on August 14, 1941 in Elkhart, Indiana. She came from a life and became a famous country music singer. People in the music business and people who listened to music like Connie Smith. Her life as a kid was tough. Connie Smith had a time when she was growing up because her family did not have a lot of money. She had to deal with a lot of problems, and music helped her feel better. Music was like an escape for Connie Smith. She was a teenager when she started playing the guitar. The country music and gospel songs she heard really inspired her. She also liked the Appalachian sounds. These things she listened to helped her develop her special way of singing. Her voice was easy to understand, very strong. It always sounded like she meant what she was singing. When she was country music and Appalachian sounds and gospel music were the things that inspired her. Her voice was special because it could make you feel what she was feeling. It sounded like she was really feeling heartbreak or longing or being strong. She sang with a lot of feeling, and people could tell she was sincere. The country music and gospel music and Appalachian sounds were a part of her singing style. Her life was totally different after she moved to Ohio in the 1960s. She joined a band, and that is when things started to happen for Connie Smith. One night while Connie Smith was performing, she was found by Bill Anderson. Bill Anderson was a deal in country music because he wrote a lot of great songs. He thought Connie Smith had a special voice. So Bill Anderson helped Connie Smith get a record deal with RCA Victor. This was the start of a partnership between Connie Smith and RCA Victor that would change country music. In 1964, Connie Smith put out her first single. It was called Once a Day. The song became really popular fast. It got to #1 on the Billboard Hot Country Singles chart. It stayed there for 8 weeks in a row. This was a deal for a female country artist at that time. The song made her a big star. People started to know her music. She sang with a lot of feeling, and her voice was amazing. The music was country music with things like guitars and fiddles. The song showed what kind of music she would make. Her music was special because of the way she sang and the kind of instruments they used. The song was a success for her, and it helped her become famous. The next 10 years were really good for Connie Smith. In the 1960s and 1970s, Connie Smith had a lot of songs on the country music charts. She had then 70 songs on the charts. Some of these songs were then, and then Ain't Had No Loving, I Never Once Stopped Loving You, and The Hootens, All Over. Connie Smith's music was about life and real feelings. Her songs were honest, came from the heart. This is what country music is about. At that time, country music was changing. It was starting to sound like pop music. Connie Smith's voice was still what made her special. Connie Smith's voice was her point. Fellow artists and producers really think she has one of the voices in country music. People like Dolly Parton and Loretta Lynn and George Jones and Merle Haggard all love Connie Smith's talent. They think Connie Smith is the best when it comes to singing. What makes Connie Smith's songs so good is that she can be vulnerable without being too much. This makes her country music feel like it is about you and me. Connie Smith's songs are personal. We can all relate to them because of the way Connie Smith sings. She was very successful in her career. Her personal life was not easy. Music star had to deal with anxiety and depression, and being famous was really tough on her. She talked about these things in a very honest and nice way. In the 1970s, when music star was at the top of her game, she decided to take a break from music to spend time with her family and focus on her spiritual life. This was a choice, but it showed that music star was an artist who did what she believed and not just what would make her money. After being out of the spotlight for a while, music star came back to music. This time, she did it her way. The music that came out in the 1990s and 2000s was really well liked by critics, and people started to respect Connie Smith. Albums like Connie Smith and Long Line of Heartaches and The Cry of the Heart showed that Connie Smith was a grown-up artist now. Her voice was not as loud as it used to be. It was still very good at making people feel things. Connie Smith still had a lot of strength in her music. In the 2000s, the country music artist legacy went far beyond just being successful on music charts or selling a lot of records. The year 2002 was really special for her because she got an honor. She was ranked 9th on CMT's list of the women of country music. This was a big deal because it put her with the most influential women in country music. It showed that what fans and other artists thought about her was true. Her country music voice, her style, and the way she sang from the heart helped make country music what it is. What made this moment more special was that one of her own heroes said nice things about her. The country music artist's voice and music meant a lot to people. Country music itself was shaped by the country music artist's voice and the way she sang. George Jones said she is his female country singer in the book he wrote, I Live to Tell It All. This means a lot because George Jones is a deal in Nashville. When someone that important says something about you, it is really nice to hear. It shows that country music legends think a lot of her, and that is really something. George Jones saying this about her is a compliment, and it is very historic. George Jones is a country music legend. He thinks she is the best female country singer. Smith did not stop making music just because she had success in the past. She kept going on her spiritual path. In 2003, Smith released the album Love Never Fails. She made this album with Barbara Fairchild and Sharon White of the Whites. This album showed how much faith Smith really had. Smith wanted to make music that would make people feel good. She wanted to mix gospel music with the kind of singing that came from her heart. The music of Smith also reached people who were younger than her. The album Love Never Fails was a part of this. Smith was still making music that people loved. In 2005, Martina McBride did a nice thing for Connie Smith by recording Once a Day for the album Timeless. This showed that Once a Day is a song that people still love. It also showed that Connie Smith has had an impact on country music singers. Connie Smith is still a person in country music because of this. Smith was still performing music. She did a great job singing Sonny James' song A World of Our Own in May 2007 at the Country Music Hall of Fame. They were giving out medals. Smith was being honored for her music. That year, Smith sang a song with her husband for his album Compadres. Smith was being a musician and a good wife at the same time. In 2012, Smith got an award when she was put into the Country Music Hall of Fame. This was a big deal for Smith and her music career. Smith was happy to be part of the Country Music Hall of Fame. The country music world was really happy about the recognition she got. It was not just because country music fans loved her songs, also because she worked hard to keep the heart of country music alive. Her career in country music was like a connection between the style of country music and the new style that is coming out. Country music is. She helped bring the traditional country roots into the future of country music. Her legacy is really about the impact she had on others. Lots of musicians, women who sing country music, have been inspired by the way she sang her powerful voice and the way she showed her feelings. Country music is a part of this. She showed everyone that a woman can be in charge and do a job all while being true to herself and her music. If you look at her life, you can see that she had people who cared about her. She learned from the tough times, and she always believed in love or faith and being committed to the people and things that matter. Country music and the artists who sing it, like the country singers, have been influenced by her in a big way. She has been married 4 times in her life. Each time she got married, it was like a new part of her life started. The marriages were all very different from each other. She had times and bad times in each of her marriages to these 4 men. Her life with each of these 4 husbands was special in its way, with happy moments and tough moments. She learned something from each of these 4 marriages. Her first marriage happened in 1961 when she married Jerry Smith. He worked at Interlake Iron Corporation in Beverly, Ohio as a payroll analyst. At that time, she was a woman who had to take care of a lot of things at home and also start her career. Jerry Smith. She had a son named Darren Justin, who was born on March 9, 1963. Darren Justin later went to Europe in the 1970s to do some missionary work. After that, Darren Justin became a psychologist. which shows that he is a person and also very curious about learning new things. Jerry Smith and she raised Darren Justin to be a person who values his faith and his education. Connie and Jerry were happy when they had a child together. They still got divorced in the mid-1960s. Connie and Jerry did not stay married even though they had a kid. They went their ways, Connie and Jerry did. Smith recalls that he really paid attention to her not just when she was singing, but to what kind of person she was. Working with him became a part of her music career. Anderson wrote some of her songs, like Once a Day. She said that the songs he wrote for her were so good that it was like he knew what she was thinking. He seemed to know her well. Smith and Anderson got along well because they respected each other. They did not have a lot of drama in their relationship. Anderson and Smith had a working relationship because they liked and respected each other. She says that he was a mentor to her, someone she worked with, and a friend. He really pushed her to do her music, but he also made sure to respect her feelings and needs. She thinks of him as a mentor, a collaborator, and a friend who helped her with music while being careful about her boundaries. Anderson was really important to this woman. She was a singer in a world where mostly men were in charge. Anderson made her feel safe and sure of herself. He liked her for who she was as a singer, did not try to make her change. He thought it was more important to be real and sincere than to sound perfect. As time went on, they went their ways, but she thought more and more about how much she liked him. When she thinks about it now, she realizes that what really mattered was not being famous or successful, but being kind and respectful. Anderson was about kindness and respect, and that is what she liked about him. Connie Smith is 84 years old now, and she talks about the things that have happened to her. Connie Smith does not get stuck in the past. She does remember it and the people who helped her when things were tough. Connie Smith says that Bill Anderson helped her to speak up for herself, not just when she was singing, but in her life too. The music industry can be a cutthroat place, but when Connie Smith talks about her experiences, you can tell she is being really genuine and kind. At 84 years old, Connie Smith is not trying to change what happened in the past. She is simply telling it in her own quiet and unmistakable way.